Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Starting Data Science Portfolio with Jekyll Teams and GitHub Pages. In this video, I'll be covering how to install Jekyll on Mac and Windows. We're going to set up Jekyll team website. Then we're going to customize the portfolio website. And lastly, we're going to serve the website on GitHub Pages. So first of all, just like to mention a few words about requirements. So in order to build a portfolio website with Jekyll, you need a few things. So first of all, you need a GitHub account. You need also a basic knowledge of version control. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps needed to deploy your own portfolio website. So don't worry if you don't know the version control, but it's a very useful tool to know. Second of all, we would need Ruby and Ruby gems, which is a type of a programming language that would let us edit and run Jekyll. And then lastly, we have our Jekyll, which is a static site generator. And this is the tool that we're going to use to edit, customize our website. Okay, so since this is a Windows machine, I won't be able to show you how to install Jekyll on Mac. However, it is much easier than on Windows because Macs have pre-installed Ruby and Ruby gems. So we don't have to worry about installing those. So what you have to do is just basically check if you have the right Ruby version. So I think that Jekyll runs on Ruby 2.1 or higher. So what you should do is just open your terminal and type Ruby -v. Then the same for gems. And lastly, if you're happy with the version you have, you can install Jekyll using the following command gem install Jekyll bundler, and then you just need to check if Jekyll is correctly installed. So that is it for Mac. It is a little bit more difficult for Windows, and I'm gonna show you how to do it now. In order to install Ruby, go to Ruby installer for Windows to the download tab, and you want to click on the Ruby Plus Dev Kit, the latest version. If you click on it, it's going to start downloading. I've already done that before, so I can open my installer. I'm going to accept the license. Important thing is to tick all of these boxes. They should be ticked automatically, but if they're not, make sure to tick them manually. Again, here we want to tick all of the boxes again, and it should install shortly. Okay, again, make sure that this box is ticked and click on finish. Now, you can see that this window popped out. So what you want to do, you want to install all of the options. So we start with number 1 and press enter. It will run the installation. Okay, we're going to go number 2. Okay, and lastly number 3 and enter. Okay, it looks like we installed all of them, so now I'm gonna close the window. Okay, so it's always a good idea to check if your program's installed correctly. So we're gonna go to command prompt, and let's see ruby -v. Okay, looks good. Gem -v looks good as well. Okay, so once we have our Ruby and gem bundle installed, we're gonna install Jekyll. So let me go to Jekyll website to double check for the command. Okay, so that's all you need to install it. Gem install bundler Jekyll. Copy it. It's going to take a while. Perfect. Last step, let's check if it installed correctly. Okay, looks good. Now when we have all of our requirements as well as Jekyll installed, we're going to go on and choose a theme that we would like to use for our website. Jekyll website is very good. It has lots of different resources. Right here, for example, there are several community tutorials. If you want to go in depth into maybe creating a Jekyll theme or your website from scratch, I really recommend checking them out. All of these will take you to different websites with Jekyll themes. You can see there's a lot of options, but I like this one because it's quite sleek and gives you a nice overview of your teams. So as you can see, some of them are paid, but there's lots of them that are free. So obviously, if you feel like you want a little bit more advanced template, feel free to purchase it. The process of using the paid theme is exactly the same as the free one. But yeah, let us choose a nice theme. So let's go to portfolio themes since that's what we're doing. And there's this one I like. Should be somewhere here. Freelancer. Okay, cool. So you should usually have a live demo. So this is a preview of how the website would look like. It's quite sleek. It's very simple. Okay, I'm happy with that one. So if you decide on the theme you want to use for your portfolio, the first step you want to do is click out on Get Your Theme on GitHub. As you can see, it takes us to a GitHub repository of the code for this Jekyll theme. And what we want to do, we want to fork it to our own repo. So press fork. It's going to take a second. Perfect. So as you can see, this is already forked to my personal GitHub account. The first step you want to do, which is super important, is you want to rename the repo from freelancer theme to .github.io format. So this is important because otherwise you may find some difficulties in deploying it via GitHub pages. So what we want to do, we want to go with username.github.io. So my username is mashansm, so I'm just going to go mashansm.github.io. Obviously, for you, it's going to be different username.github.io, and we're going to click rename. Perfect. Once you're happy with that, what we want to do, we want to clone the repository to our local machine so that we can edit, customize the website, as well as serve it locally on our local server so that we can see all of the changes that we do live before we actually deploy it with GitHub pages and make it public for everyone to see. So what we're going to do now, we want to navigate from our command prompt to the place that you want your portfolio folder to be on your local machine. So for me, it's just desktop because, it's just simple. So let's do cd desktop. Okay, we're here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down git clone and the URL to our website repo. So I just press copy. Okay, so this git clone command, it's nothing to do with Jekyll per se. This is how you would do it with any type of repository you'd like to clone to your local machine. So this is where the version control kind of comes into play. This is like a regular version control command with git. So we press enter. So yeah, as you've noticed, we have our folder available on our local machine. So it is exactly the same. Okay, so now we're ready to serve the website on our local server. So what you want to do, you want to open your command prompt again and make sure to navigate to the folder with your website code. So I'm just gonna copy the path here. Oops, and gonna okay, we are in here now. So you want to write down bundle exec Jekyll serve, and that should start serving our website. So you use the same command for any other team. So any team that you download, this is what you do. Actually, right here, as you can see, we have an error. So what happened is that we are missing one dependency. We're missing web brick. It is because the Ruby version 3.0 and higher, they do not automatically come with this dependency installed. So what we need to do, we need to install it manually. So I'm just gonna type bundle add web brick, and now it should add it. So it may be that you will encounter an error while trying to deploy locally your Jekyll theme. Sometimes you would have to add some new jams. It usually will be set in the output. So, you know, if you have an error, just don't get scared, don't get frightened, because you can very easily sort it out. Okay, so it looks like the web brick has been installed. Let's go back to our bundle exec Jekyll serve command. Let's see if it's going to work now. Okay, and looks like it worked. So this is our server address. So I'm just going to copy it. And if I go to a new tab, perfect, I can see our website deployed locally. One thing I want to mention is that this command that we used, the exec Jekyll serve, you use this one only for the first time you're running your website. So any other time that you're doing it, you can only write down Jekyll serve. Okay, so now when we have our website served locally, we can start editing it. So the first thing you'd like to open is the config file. So this is usually the file that kind of describes the name of the website, the colors. I usually recommend starting with this one. You will find it in other Jekyll themes as well. So I think that the important thing to mention is that, you know, this kind of layout of the code and of the website, that you can see right here, the different folders, it probably will differ from theme to theme. So what I recommend to do is just simply, you know, explore and figure out what's where and how can you customize and edit your website based on the folders that you have. So, you know, the same with me when I was creating my portfolio website. I didn't know what's where. It was just literally like going through it, exploring it. It's actually quite fun. So, you know, I just recommend you to look around basically. Okay, but in this particular theme, we have our config file living just right here. So I've opened it in Visual Studio. Of course, you can use other program to edit your code files. You know, it can be Atom, can be any other one that you prefer and that you like using. So as we can see here, we have for example, the title, we have email, we have keywords, we have our colors here, copyright, you know, all of these things that are here in the footer. You can change them in your config file. So let's start doing some basic editing. So the first thing, perhaps let's change the name. So I'm just going to change the title. Let's do computer scientist, data scientist, program. Let's see. Okay, copyrights. Let's do data. Then we have location. Personally, I don't really like this bit with location and address. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get rid of it. So yeah, I'm just going to do this. I would like to leave this around the web, sorry, a bit, because I think that's quite cool. But you know, I don't really need my Twitter here, so I'm just gonna get rid of this one. Yeah, I don't really like Facebook, perhaps no Stack Overflow, but I like to leave my GitHub and perhaps LinkedIn. And here you would usually just link the URLs to your social media, and then when you click on it, it will just take you there. I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. So you're probably wondering how come you can just put LinkedIn here and you will see the LinkedIn icon here. So Jekyll teams, they use this thing called Font Awesome, and it includes fonts as well as icons. And you can check out the folders. But I think that in the CSS folder, you have files that kind of like describe all of them together with names. So, if you're curious what other social media are there, just go to the CSS folder and check out the file with Font Awesomes in order to make sure, what's available out there. Again, it can differ between teams. But okay, let's go back to our website. So we have LinkedIn. Okay, this is the address. Yeah, I don't want any address here. Credits. Let's get rid of this as well. Okay, so once I'm happy with our with my file, very important step, I need to save it. So I'm using Control S. And now we should be able to see the changes reflected. Another important thing to mention is that usually with editing any other bits of the website, for example, the posts or, about me section and so on, you'll be able to simply refresh and see the changes reflected automatically. However, with the config file, you actually have to rerun the server again. I'm not sure why it's that. I need to read a bit more about it, but it's just one of those things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop running the server with pressing Control C. So usually it's like a few times. Yes, I'm gonna terminate it. And since we're running the server second time, I'm just gonna go for Jekyll serve command. Perfect, the new one's running. So now if I refresh it, we should be able to see our changes. Yeah, and here it is. So now it says Ada Lovelace. We have different title, and let's go down here. Yeah, as you can see, the credits and location bits, they just disappeared, and we have only the around the web bit and our links here. So it looks like we successfully edited our config file. So let's move on and do some more changes. So let's try to change the profile picture and customize the portfolio entries. So in this theme, the portfolio entries are presented like this. So we have a tile with a portfolio project. When we click on it, we can see that we have a project name here, a picture here, and then a description. There's also some entities like client, date, service. I'm not sure what that is. Of course, you can edit it and customize it as much as you want. You can, for example, add a link to your GitHub repo here, or your Medium article about the project, and so on. So let's try to change the profile picture first. So yeah, I'm gonna go to folder images, and yeah, we can see that this is where our pictures live. So I prepared some pictures in advance. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to override the profile picture here, and then in portfolio I'm going to add some other pictures from new projects. And now when we refresh it, we should be able to see the picture here. So as you can see, this picture is a little bit bigger than the other one. So what I would actually recommend to do in order to, if you want to keep it as close to the template as possible, you can simply check the dimensions of the pictures in properties, and then you can use any kind of online or local cropping softwares to to make it the right size, and then you can just keep it a bit more consistent with the template. But for this is just an example, so let's just leave a bigger picture for now. Okay, let's move on to our portfolio. So in this theme, the portfolios are can be edited in our post folder. So as you can see, we have 6 markdown files here, 1 per portfolio. So let's say that I only have 3 projects. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get rid of this 3. And now when I refresh it, I should be able to see only 3 projects. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Visual Studio again, and I'm just going to drag and drop to open it. And yeah, as you can see here, we can see the structure of the portfolio inside. So what we have here is a description. So the description, this is the bit here. Then we have, this client category, project entities here. We have our image name, and so on. And it's the same for each of the projects here. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm just going to change the name. So I think, yeah, we had, let's see how we named the pictures. Okay, so just project 1, 2, and 3. This is project 3. This is project 2. And we should have project 1 opened as well. But yeah, for now, let me just save here. Project 1. And save this one as well. And now I've changed the pictures, so we should see them right here. Okay, perfect. Let's try to edit the project number 3. Okay, so let's say I don't really like this things here. I'd like to only keep a date. So again, similarly as in the config file, I'm just going to get rid of this. And here I'm going to change the description into "This is my institute." And I save it and refresh it. We can see the changes here. So you can use basic HTML in order to try to, edit this text a little bit more, add it, a little bit more character. Maybe you want to bold something, maybe you want to add a link. So I prepared a small description beforehand. To show you as an example. So a very funny quirk of this particular theme is that you have to have all of your description in one line. As soon as you start doing certain, spaces or new line, it just breaks the theme. I'm not sure why it's that. Again, this is in this theme, maybe other themes, they don't have that. So it is a little bit tricky to edit it directly in the Markdown file. So what I would suggest is just, preparing it on the side in like a text file, and then basically copying and pasting this. So let's see how this will look. Okay, as you can see, there is a little bit more of like a structure here. So I used a new paragraph to put a new line. Then I also added a link. So, that can be a potential link to a GitHub page. Here we have a link to the Institute. So a very good tip I have for you is try and always put this target blank function method, not sure how to call it, after you link something. So what it does is it allows the page to open in a new tab. Otherwise, the page would open in the same tab, and someone can, a potential viewer of your profile, can open the website and go on and exploring your GitHub repo, and you would totally forget about your portfolio website. So it's good to add it so that the thing can be open in a new tab, and then if someone would like to go back to your portfolio, they can easily do that without too much fuss. Okay, so we're happy with this. Last step we want to do is perhaps change this project name here, because it still says project 3. So in order to change the name, we actually need to change the name of the post here. A very important thing, try to keep the format exactly the same. So you can change the name, you can change the date, but try to keep it in the same format. If you don't do it, I think that it may have an issue with finding it in a path while deploying the website, and it may just break the theme. So I'm going to do a name and just try to keep the same style with the hyphen. I'm just going to say my institute. Yep. Perfect. And now when I refresh it, we can say this is my institute here. So we already changed the title of our website, we changed the footer, updated the portfolio entries. So let's move on to the About section and Contact Me. So again, I'm going to open my Visual Studio and try to find these files. Okay, posts, they have posts, maybe site. Not really. Okay, includes. Perfect. Looks like we're in the right place after all. So I'm gonna put About file here. Great. So as you can see, we can see some code corresponding to our About section here. So we have this bit here, so it's like a new paragraph. It kind of centers us in the middle. Another tip I have for you, it's to change this into margin and then percentage. So instead of using class, use style equals margin. So instead of this, I am going to type style equals margin 5%. Just gonna do the same for this one below here. Okay, important steps, save it, always save. And we can see it didn't really change, but you know, a viewer of your website who will be looking at it on a mobile phone or a tablet will definitely thank you for that because it's gonna align properly. Okay, so I don't really like this part here, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. And beforehand, I wrote a small About section about Ada Lovelace. I'd like to, I'm just gonna copy and paste it, save. And when we refresh it, we can see we have only one section. So here, you know, it's a good idea to probably put your CV. So I'm not gonna do it now, but usually you would just, you know, link your CV here and then download theme. I'm just gonna change to CV, save and refresh. And yeah, now we have CV. So I'm gonna do the same thing you know, during editing this portfolio bit. So I'm just gonna put target equals blank. And yeah, perhaps now it's a good time to show you the difference. So now I just click on CV, and you can see it opens it on top of my portfolio. And now I've added this target equals blank. I'm gonna save this, refresh, and now when I click on it, you see it opens it in a new tab, and then it's very easy to go back to your portfolio. Now we're happy with our About section, so let's move on to the Contact Me section. So as you can see, there's this interesting kind of a form here. So as far as I know, the Jekyll team, they have some kind of deal with Form Free, where you can simply, you know, have the service where a person can put their name, email address, phone number, and message, and can send it to you. So all you have to do is, I think, just edit this mail file and put your name there. I think it's only available for like around 100 or 100 to 500 messages. So, you know, if you want it, you can just feel free and use it. I personally don't really like it that much, so I'm going to show you how to edit it out if you want to. It's actually very simple. So I'm again going to go to my includes website, and what I want to do, I want to edit the contact static file. So I have it open here. As you know, as you can see, all this kind of code, it just corresponds to this. So I'm just gonna simply get rid of it. So this is Contact Me, so I want to leave it here. Also here you can see there's like a small instruction on how to use this Form Free service if you'd like to. So yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna do save, refresh it, and yeah, you can see that we don't have that anymore. So Then you just need to basically edit it and put your email address. I've already did it in advance because it takes a little bit of time just to kind of like align all of the divs and all of the brackets. So I'm just gonna save it, refresh, and yeah, you can have your email address here. So I put save email, but let me put other mail.com. Save, refresh, and when we click on it, it should technically open a mailbox, and we'll be able to send an email to whoever we need. So this is how our ready website looks like. We've changed the picture, we've changed the title, some portfolio updates, about me section, and contact me bit. And I'm happy with my changes. So what I want to do now, I want to update my online GitHub repository with the state of my current folder. So I'm going to stop serving here. Okay, we're already in the folder. It's very important to navigate to the right folder. And the commands I'm going to be using right now, they don't have much to do with Jekyll per se. They're just, your traditional git version control commands which you would be using in order to update any changes that you did locally with your online GitHub repository. So the first thing I'm going to do, I just want to do git status. Looks like it's up to date, but I've actually just pushed it a second ago, but usually you would have a list of the files that have been changed. Get add all, that would add all of the changes. Get commit message, and that says first commit. Okay, and once I'm happy with that, I'm gonna do git push. Okay, so it seems everything's up to date. Now I'm going back to my GitHub repository. I'm going to settings, pages, and looks like my site is published. So it is green because it's been published, but if it's not ready yet, it would be blue. So you have to wait until it's green in order to see the changes. And let's see what happens here. And yeah, it looks like our portfolio is up and running. Now it's available to anyone. So, you can go ahead and just share this address with, potential employer and impress them with your portfolio website. That is it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and good luck with your portfolio. Bye.